Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Monday, September 20th. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We start off with news from a developing story overnight. The grandson of Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson, who is named Frank Q. Jackson, 24 years old, was found to have been shot and killed on Sunday night. This happened near the Garden Valley Estates public housing complex on Kinsman Road. 3 News crews were there last night and they saw Mayor Jackson and Police Calvin Williams at the scene, Police Chief Calvin Williams. This morning, the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office revealed that the body of Mayor Frank Jackson's grandson was found in a yard, that he was found dead. Cleveland Division of Police say that the shooting occurred around 9 p.m. and that investigation was underway. No information regarding possible suspects has yet been released. Recently, Frank Q. Jackson, 24 years old, had been facing charges of felonious assault following an incident in Parma where he is accused of dragging an officer while trying to flee in his car. Now, he was released from jail after posting a $10,000 bond on that case in July, had a court appearance set for November. Our thoughts are with the Jackson family, and we will continue to bring you updates as they become available on WKYC.com. Now an update in the woman from Florida who was missing. Authorities do believe that they found her body over the weekend at a Wyoming national park, and the search has been postponed for the moment for her fiancé, who is a person of interest in the case. FBI agents and police today were at the home of the young man. He's wanting for questioning in the disappearance of his fiancée, Gabby Petito. The FBI's Tampa office said that it was serving a search warrant, and local media reported that 23-year-old Brian Laundrie's parents were seen getting into a police van outside of that home in Florida, but there was no further comment from agents at this time. But there were at least a dozen law enforcement officers, which could be seen on video, and one wearing an FBI jacket pulling up to that home. That home is in Northport, Florida. Brian Laundrie and Petito had been living with his parents there before making a cross-country trek, and that's the journey on which she's believed to have died. Now, Petito, 22, disappeared after they left in July on this cross-country journey. They were in a converted van that they were using to visit national parks in the West. It's been reported that they got in a fight along the way and that Laundrie was alone when he returned in the van to his parents' home in Northport on September 1st. In Wyoming, the FBI announced the discovery of a body that agents believe to be that of Petito. It was on the edge of Grand Teton National Park. That is one of the parks that the couple had visited, and an autopsy is set now for Tuesday. FBI agent Charles Jones said this: "Full forensic identification has not been completed to confirm 100% that we found Gabby, but her family has been notified. It's an incredibly difficult time for Petito's family and friends." Here in Ohio, we now know that Matt Dolan is entering the race for U.S. Senate. He's a current state senator. He made it official today, announcing his campaign to fill the seat that will soon be vacated by Senator Rob Portman, who has decided to retire from politics and not run again for the seat next year. Now, he first hinted at interest, Matt Dolan, in this back in July when he launched the Ohio Matters Tour. This was his team saying they were designing this to hear directly from Ohioans to elevate their voices and actively discuss the kind of leadership they want from their next U.S. Senator. That's a quote from his team. Now, Dolan is a Republican from Chagrin Falls. He currently represents Ohio's District 24. You might also recognize his name in connection with the family that owns our Cleveland baseball team. He's a former member of the Ohio House of Representatives. He served there from 2005 to 2010, and he does have a partial ownership stake in the baseball team here in Cleveland, alongside his father and principal owner Larry Dolan and his older brother and chairman and CEO of the tribe organization, Paul Dolan. Now, coming up here in Northeast Ohio, the Cleveland Clinic broke ground today on a new hospital location in Menor that's expected to open for full service in 2023. This will be for patients in Lake and Northern Geauga counties. CEO and president of Cleveland Clinic, Tom Mahalovic, said this: "Today marks the start of a new hospital concept based on the needs of the community. Our goal is to serve patients at Menor Hospital while also making the entire health system available for additional care when needed." Now, the Cleveland Clinic currently has 8 locations throughout Lake County, and the goal is to provide patients with access to a full range of services by the beginning of 2023. Cleveland Clinic's Hillcrest Hospital will manage the new site. Officials say that will allow for smooth access and staffing between both hospitals. Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers in from the Ohio Department of Health. Today there have been 4,899 new reported cases. We don't have data from Sunday, but on Saturday there were 6,716 new reported cases, and if you go back to Friday, there were 8,447. Right now there are 3,678 people in the hospital being treated for COVID-19, and out of those people, 1,014 of them are being treated in an intensive care unit right now. We have updated information from Pfizer today. They say that the COVID-19 vaccine works in children ages 5 to 11. They said that it will be seeking U.S. authorization for this age group very soon, and they consider that a key step toward beginning vaccination for young people. The vaccine, made by Pfizer and BioNTech, is already available for 12 and older through emergency use authorization. But with kids now back in school and conversation about the extra contagious Delta variant that's causing a huge jump in pediatric infections, many parents are very anxiously awaiting a vaccination for the young children. Now, Dr. Bill Gruber, who is a Pfizer senior vice president, told the Associated Press that they tested a much lower dose of the vaccine for these elementary school aged children, a third of the amount that's in each shot that's given now to the older children. And after their second dose, even with this smaller dose, children ages 5 to 11 developed the antibodies to fight COVID-19 just as strong as teenagers and young adults getting the regular strength shot. That's according to the senior vice president. Now, the kid dosage proved safe with similar or fewer temporary side effects like sore arms, fever, and achiness that the teens had been experiencing, he said. He says he feels like we really hit the sweet spot with this dose. That's Gruber speaking, who is also a pediatrician. All right, now let's turn to it being Victory Monday. The Cleveland Browns brought home a win at the home opener yesterday at First Energy Stadium, winning 31-21 over the Houston Texans. Not without its tense moments, though. Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield had a shoulder injury just before the end of the first half. People saw him wincing in pain. It was definitely not an ideal situation. Now, Baker Mayfield seems to think that he was potentially targeted in this situation. This happened when he was attempting to tackle Texans safety Justin Reed. Here's what Baker said. Obviously not an ideal situation, trying to force Reed back inside. I think he realized it was me standing right there, so he put his head down and ran right after me. It was Reed who intercepted his second quarter throw to rookie wide receiver Anthony Schwartz, and a lot of debate on who was at fault for that interception. A lot of people saying, including R.J. Crawford, that it was Schwartz just stopping his route that caused that interception, not necessarily on the fault of Baker Mayfield. But here's what Baker said about his left shoulder. He said he kind of popped in and out, but it's good. He said nothing too serious. He said, it's my left. God gave me two. Classic Baker Mayfield response right there. Now, if you take a look at our Jay Crawford's latest column on the Cleveland Browns, he's talking about Myles Garrett, calling Baker Mayfield Brett Favre 2.0, and he goes into a whole description about what happened with that interception, again saying that it was Schwartz who stopped his route that led to that interception. But then after that happening, Baker coming back in and really answering, going 10 for 10 in the second half, 103 yards, even scoring a touchdown himself, running it in to finish it out. And then Myles Garrett said this: the guy is tough. Honestly, I wouldn't say carbon copy, but he is like Brett Favre 2.0 with less picks, though. And if you want to see more comparisons between Baker Mayfield and Brett Favre, check out that column on WKYC.com from Jay Crawford. It's a good read. Now, there were other injuries as well, though. This one more lasting. Cleveland Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry is now week to week with an MCL sprain. He went out in the first quarter of Sunday's win, and so now we wait to see what happens, because head coach Kevin Stefanski isn't ruling out the possibility of placing Landry on the injured reserve. And if he does that, he has to miss a minimum of at least three games. So that would include this Sunday's home game against the Chicago Bears and 2 road games against the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. It was his first and only catch against the Texans where he had the injury. It was a 9-yard reception for the Browns on the opening drive, and he was initially listed as questionable before being ruled out for a remainder of the game following halftime. It was an MCL injury, and Landry will undergo further testing. Here's hoping that that injury is not too severe, because Jarvis Landry, we would really love to have you back out there, and my fantasy football team is named after Jarvis Landry. It's called One If by Landry. So if I don't have Landry for the next couple games, it's going to be a real downer for this girls' fantasy football team. Now, what we did see on the field ahead of the game, we saw Baker Mayfield honoring the fallen Navy Corpsman Max Soviak. What he did was he reached out to a company called Souls by Sir. It's a shoe design company based in Miami to get these special cleats made. And the cleats had a message on them that said, "Rest in peace," and his face, Max Soviak's face. He wore the shoes during warm-ups on Sunday's home opener because due to NFL rules, uniform rules, you couldn't actually wear them during the game. Now, for those who may not be aware, Navy Corpsman Maxton Soviak is a native of Berlin Heights here in northern Ohio, and he was one of 13 U.S. service members who was killed in the attacks in Afghanistan at the Kabul airport on August 26th. Prior to his career in the Navy, Soviak was a star athlete at Milan Edison High School. He won a team state championship in wrestling and also helped them win the OHSAA Division V state football semifinals as a senior. Back here in Cleveland, the Tribe is calling up former Major League Baseball outfielder and now pitcher Anthony Gose. This will be the first time he's played in the Major League since 2016. He's doing it in a new position. He was added to the roster ahead of today's doubleheader against the Kansas City Royals at Progressive Field. He spent 5 seasons at the Major League level for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers before converting to pitcher after being designated for assignment by the Tigers following the 2016 season. So he'll be on full squad in Cleveland today. Now, if you caught the Emmys over the weekend, you knew that it was an historic night at the 2021 Emmy Awards. Netflix's drama The Crown and Apple TV Plus's comedy Ted Lasso both won top series honors in their respective categories. Tons of nominations and wins for their respective casts. This is the first time streaming services won both the Best Drama and Comedy Series categories. If you want to see a full list of nominees and winners, you can find that at WKYC.com. Something else you can find at WKYC.com is my conversation with WWE Superstar Mike "The Miz" Mizanin. He is debuting his dancing skills, doing things a little bit differently from wrestling on ABC's Dancing with the Stars. That premieres tonight. He talked to me about how he's feeling about the competition, one of the surprises that he had for the producers, and how he's changing up his competitive style and wants to really beat everyone at their best on Dancing with the Stars. We also talked about how this is a very stacked season when it comes to professional dance experience on the celebrity side of things. And there's quite the competition for him, for sure, including Canton native Amanda Klutz. So we talk about that. Also, I've got your Need to Know in NEO, a great dance studio if you're looking to get into dancing yourself, and also how you can follow Amanda Klutz on Instagram since she's also from Canton. So you can find that at WKYC.com/3 things to know. And before I let you go, we got to let you know about the Cleveland Aquarium. They are bringing back pumpkins and piranhas for the Halloween season. They call it their seasonal fun days. Do you get it? Sea, like the ocean, the sea, seasonal. Okay. It's happening from October 27th through 29th with extended hours from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. People are invited and encouraged to dress up in Halloween costumes. Education coordinator Matt DeBellick says that he is looking forward to hopefully seeing a T-Rex reaching out to touch a stingray, since those animals didn't exist in history at the same time. Now, pumpkins and piranhas will have underwater pumpkin decorations, scuba divers in costumes, treat bags for the kids, and trivia and activities based on the sea creatures at the aquarium. Definitely a good time. So go ahead and check that out if you want to see more details. That's at WKYC.com. And that's it for your 3 News Now update today for Monday, September 20th. I'll see you back here tomorrow with more 3 News Now.